Hi there, my name is Kevin Kusuma, a graduate student at the University of Utah in the Business Analytics program. I'm so happy to participate in this competition because I have used Domo for the last 3 years and this is my chance to showcase my skills. From the data that Dr. O has provided, I have created 3 cards on Domo to illustrate my analysis, insights, and recommendations. First, before we talk about my analysis, I want to take the time to talk about the data. The data are taken from Kaggle for COVID-19 patients in South Korea between January 20th to March 30th, 2020. While at one point South Korea had the largest confirmed cases count in the world just behind China, recently they have been seen as a role model by other countries to combat the spread of the virus. It will be interesting to look at their data and see what we can discover from them and try to formulate some recommendations to flatten the curve in the United States where we live right now, especially in Utah. This presentation will cover 3 main topics. The first one, who are the most vulnerable if infected by the virus? Second, how the virus spread and how to contain it? And third, what actions the South Korean government took to flatten the curve. Let's go to the first topic. Who are most vulnerable if infected? This is a Domo dashboard I have created, and let's go to the first card, which is the one at the bottom right. This graph illustrates the number of deceased patients by age and gender. The number on the top left corner represents the total number of deceased patients, which is 53. On the x-axis, you'll find 2 age groups. One is below 60 years old, and the other is 60 years old or above. The blue bar represents the number of deceased patients who are male, and the pink bar represents the number of deceased patients who are female. The red line represents the total number of deceased patients by age group. Let's analyze the total death count by age group first. As you can see, there were 44 deceased patients who were 60 or above, approximately 83% of the total count, and there were only 9, approximately 17%, who were below 60 years old. It is clear that the majority of deceased patients were in their 60 or above. Let's shift our focus to gender. As you can already see from the graph, the blue bars on both age groups are higher than the pink bars. This suggests that most COVID-19 deaths were suffered by males. A professor of medicine at Stanford said, there are profound sex differences in immune system, and this pandemic is revealing them once again. So, it has something to do with the immune system differences between male and female. Let us now take a closer look to the age group of below 60. If I click here, it will take me to the drill down view of the card. This card is a drill down card from the previous card, and we are focusing on the data of the deaths below 60 years old. We separate them into 2 groups. One contains those who already had underlying health condition before catching the virus, with true, and the other, false, contains those who did not have underlying health condition before catching the virus. As you can see clearly that nearly 80% of those below 60 who died from COVID-19 already had health conditions before catching the virus. It can be concluded, while COVID-19 can infect anybody, this virus is especially lethal or dangerous to folks who are 60 years old or older, male, or those who already have underlying health condition. Let's go to the second topic. how the virus spread, and how to contain it. Let's go to the second card, which is the one at the top right. This card will show you the spread of the virus in regions in South Korea by date. On January 20th, when the first virus was detected, there was only one patient in Incheon, in north part of South Korea. The government quickly announced restrictions and guidance to contain the possible widespread of the virus. For the first month since the first case was detected, the spread was contained very well. Only 30 people were tested positive. Unfortunately, in mid-February, there was a 63-year-old lady, later famously known as the patient 31, ignored government restrictions, traveled to other parts of Korea, attended church meetings, etc. Days after that, on March 1st, the confirmed case count jumped to more than 1,000. Because of a series of actions of an irresponsible person, the infection count increased exponentially in Korea. It is extremely important to follow health and government official guidance, such as keep our distance from those people who are not in our house, so that we can contain the spread of the virus. How the virus spread? It's by human contact. And how to contain it? Please stay home. Let's go to our last topic, what the South Korean government did to contain the spread of the virus. This graph illustrates the number of confirmed case count by day. The blue bar represents the confirmed case count by day, and the red line represents the cumulative or running total count day by day. The annotations A to E at the top of the graph mark certain things that happened on certain day. The annotation descriptions are at the right side of the graph. Let's analyze the graph starting from the top left corner. On this date was the first case detected. For about 1 month after that, the infection rate was virtually flat. Then in mid-February, the patient 31 ignored government's restrictions and spread the virus. Within days, the total number of confirmed cases increased exponentially, and it reached 1,000 on this day. In mid-March, the confirmed cases started to decrease significantly. The South Korean government was successful in flattening the curve of infection or contain the spread of the virus. As soon as they found out about the dramatic increase in infection rate, they quickly planned and executed series of actions that helped control the spread. Their actions including, but not limited to, disinfected all public places such as subway and train stations, pushed out mobile applications that keep their citizens informed and alerted, set up drive-through and mobile booths for quick and cheap tests, and investigators interviewed patients to map the spread of the virus. To fight the spread of the virus, the South Korean government went beyond disinfecting public places and testing people. They also empowered their citizens with information. They centralized information into a single mobile app where people can get information on the most recent updates on the virus. They can also track the places where the COVID-19 patients have been to. They can also get alerts if they are nearby the areas where potentially infected, and many more. And I believe if other countries, including the United States, adopt this strategy, their citizens will be more equipped and ready to fight and contain the spread of the virus.